Welcome back to the Forensic Detailing channel, an important video today on like the best of the best. I've gone through, after many years of testing products, and this is kind of what I'm using at the moment, so it tends to be quite half decent, good stuff. Caveat, you might have some other stuff that works. Another caveat, if you have a product that works, don't throw it away to buy what I'm using, but maybe just use this video to get some ideas. Now this category here is when you're washing your car, you're doing all the wet stuff, okay? Now the first thing you're gonna need is a good all-purpose cleaner. So here I have Surfex HD, which won my all-purpose cleaner test. It was the cheapest one in the test, very powerful, just a great all-round all-purpose cleaner. You can do everything with this for not a lot of money, and 5 litres of it will last you a long time. Great stuff. So it's Built Hamber Surfex HD. Everything I put in this video I'll link in the description as well, so you can clicky and buy. The next thing is you're going to need a good pre-wash, the stuff you spray over your car, let it dwell and rinse off to get most of the dirt off before going into contact. The best one I've used, and I've probably tested, I don't know, what, 30, 40, 50 of them, is Built Hamber Touchless. Again, it's relatively affordable. You don't have to use it at high concentrations, but you unlock all the cleaning power when you get up to the maximum PIR. It's a safe sugar-based thing. 20 quid for 5 litres. I think it's probably the best on the market. Next up, automotive shampoos that you put in your bucket and you do contact washes with, or you can put them in your snow foam lances and foam over the car and then do your contact wash. The one I recommended and the one that won my best shampoo is the Car Chem 1900 to 1. So you really use probably 5 mil of this in your bucket, maybe even less if you do the maths. Be careful not to go hurling loads in because it's mega concentrated. This 5 litres cost me £12.99 in their Black Friday sale. And I could dilute this down. If I diluted it down once, so I get 10 litres of 1000 to 1 shampoo. If I then dilute it down again with another 20 litres, so it becomes 40 litres, it becomes a 500 to 1 shampoo. I've got to step back. So 500 to 1 still strong. So if I put another 40 litres in, it becomes a 250 to 1 shampoo. So I get 80 litres of normal concentrate shampoo for £12.99. It's a pure shampoo. It foams up, it rinses off the car, it works. They all do. But the cost per wash of this is unbeatable. I do have loads of Built Hamber Auto Wash as well, which is another 2000 to 1-ish concentrate. So you use hardly any of these. For me, it's all about just finding something that is affordable and doesn't really leave me any residues on the car, and does the job. And most automotive shampoos do. The problem is you can look at your cost per wash and some of them can be over £1 compared to pennies. So I tend to recommend stuff which is good quality but affordable. Okay, snow foam lances. The winner of my best snow foam lance was the MJJC Pro V2. It was cheaper than the rest of them. It's still cheap at Imran's. People were saying it's gone up to 50 quid. I think it hasn't at where Imran sells it, I think. I just think it's a really good quality shampoo. Snow foam lance. I haven't had a single problem with it. And, you know, you get extra filters. It's got all the function and features. It's really sturdy. It's well built. The only annoying thing is that the axis can sometimes turn when you want to actually control the fan out, as you can see there. So you need to hold that while you turn that. That's the only annoying thing on it. Really good. I get myself a little sink caddy. You do need 2 brushes, really. Soft tip ones for really sensitive, like gloss plastic cleaning and things. Or if you've got a bit of a dirtier car, you go in with the hog's hair brushes. So, you know, you need a couple of those. And I do have the little mini one there as well, which is useful for getting those little gaps around the window and places like that, and sometimes in the fuel filler cap. The best wash mitt for me, out of all the ones I've seen, is this Carand one, as it's called in America. In the UK, I think it's called Auto Spa, and you have to pay a fortune for it on Amazon, I think. I'll find a link. Or not fortune, but like 10 quid or something. And really, you can get noodle mitts for like 3 or 4 quid. So, but I just wanted 2 sides, and I wanted a pad because I like plonking it down. And I wanted a stiffer foam in it. This has got the stiffest foam in it, but it's still floppy. I've used it, so it's a little bit dirty. This new drying towel from Imran that I did a review on not so long ago. It's pricey at 21 quid. That's the only thing, but it's fantastic. It's so thick and dense, and you've got the two different sides. And I'm using this all the time, and I think it's really good. And I think the twisted pile side is longer than my other one, and I can do a whole car with one side and then use this for the buffing. So this is probably the best automotive towel. Only caveat is I haven't hammered it for like a year, so is it going to fall apart on me? No. And also it's quite big, so don't buy it if you want a smaller towel and you like using multiple small towels and stuff like that, but really enjoying that. So there you go, guys. That's everything in that wash category. What about pressure washers, John? Well, I use a Karcher K7 and it's been absolutely fantastic. I would recommend that. I got it for 350 quid, which was a bargain. It has tons of pressure. It's great for home use. Perhaps not the first choice if you're doing a professional thing and you're using it all day, but great for home use. So good for doing the patio as well, which is important to me. So there you go. That's washing. Next, we're going to go on to the category of decontamination. So decon is quite simple. It's the stuff that you remove that doesn't come off in the wash process, like tar and glue, tar, bits of adhesive, bug splatter and stuff, although that tends to wash off, fallout, sap, all that stuff. Now, before you clay, you can save yourself time and get better results by going over the car and de-tarring it if it needs it. And TARDIS from AutoSmart, in my opinion, is the best tar and glue remover. It won the tar and glue remover test. Very powerful stuff, very industrial. Lots of warnings on there. Glove up. Be careful with it on dodgy eBay rattle can paint. Don't use it in the heat, but it melts tar quicker than anything else. It's also got emulsifiers in it, so you can rinse it off, which is really good because you tend to want to do this after the wash stage. So you can actually kind of spray it on without the car being bone dry. So you don't do that bone dry buff out. You can kind of spray it on, work it, and then pressure wash off all of the car again at the end. So it's really useful. You're going to need a fallout remover. Typically, they can be used to clean wheels, but they can also be used as a precursor to claying. Not to remove so much fallout remover, because what they do is they make it easier to dislodge, so your claying is more effective. So they're quite a misunderstood product. You can probably skip them and just use the clay bar, but you'll get more out easier by using a fallout remover. So I'll always have one, and I believe the best on the market, dedicated fallout remover rather than wheel cleaner, is the Built Hamber Corusol. Okay, so I think you should get that. It's not the cheapest. If you want the cheapest, wait for Carchem to do their 5 litre Black Friday sale, and they sell 5 litres of it for like 14 quid, which you won't beat that price. But so this is quite expensive at 5 litres. I think it's about 50 quid. So there, you've got an option there if you don't want to pay loads of money. But the Built Hamber is the best performing one. Then we'll go on to clay bars. For 99% of just normal car claying, the fine finishing one from Built Hamber, that's you get a big block for 200 mil, is the one to go for. Unless you want to pay more, very few people make clay. This is a unique clay bar that Built Hamber make. It's different. It's a bit cakey. It's a bit stiffer than the others, but that can be good once you've got it going. So it's not like chewing gumming through your fingers. Just always look at price and just ask yourself how much you're paying for your clay bar. If you've got more contamination, you can move up to the black one and the blue one. The blue one's mega hard though. So start with that white one. £10 for 200 grams, good price. Panel wipe, well, this is the Forensics Detailing Homebrew, which consists of 99% proof IPA, about 25% 99 proof IPA, 74% DI or filtered water, and 10 mil of Surfex HD APC to act as an emulsifier. And that will clean water-based polishes off well, and it's a decent degreaser. If you want to go high-tech and pay more, you can get the Built Hamber Cleanser Fluid, which is fantastic, or you can get the Geon Prep, which is a water-based one. The cleanser fluid is a hydrocarbon. So that's really all you're going to need for decontaminating. Do you need to check out clay cloths and clay clay pads. I've talked about that. I think just simply I'd just go with the clay bar, but a clay cloth can be very, very, very handy when you're trying to like polish a car in one day and you've got to wash it and clean it in turbo speed. Anyway, the next category we moved on to now is abrasives and polishing. Now, first of all, you're going to want a polishing machine. This is the one I recommend. I think Imran Into Detailing is the only UK seller, or was the only UK seller of this machine. It's got tons of power, absolute tons of power. Comes with a smaller plate as well and has a good rubberized grip. And it's just a sort of like beefy dual action polisher that you can do a lot of work with. Yes, it's a pain to switch the plates. You can't have everything. So you could buy his kind of DA12 and DA15 and combo them up. But that most people are just going to want one polisher. So the DA8 is a good starting point. Got a nice long cable on it. It's pretty heavy duty. It's pretty robust as well. And it's easy to change the little bushes or brushes in there. You just turn that, take them out, put the new ones in because they wear down. It's got brushes in it. Okay, let's go on to abrasives. Now, there's quite a lot of good options on abrasives, and there's going to be differences in opinion. But really, Koch, Shoal Concepts, and Rupes, all OEM manufacturers of abrasives, all with expertise in polishing, all with very good compounds that are all slightly different. Now, the H8 F5M2 from Koch is being superseded with H9 F6 M3, really, although I think you can still buy these. Just really fantastic. The heavy cutting stuff also really finishes down quite well for a heavy cutting compound, which is a good thing. So you can always do that kind of heavy cut to finishing out if you want to. On softer paints, you can use the F5, or if you're single staging with F5, etc. So three main pure abrasives. Over here with the Shoal Concepts, if you want 3 products only, which is kind of where I want to go with just pure abrasives, go with the S2 Black as your heavy hammer, your heavy cutting compound. It's just got a bit more cut than the S3 Gold XL. Have S20 and you can use that as your mid-range. It's a diminishing single stage. You could use S17, which is more of a sort of mid-range cut, but this is a true single stage. Very good product, S20. And then your out-and-out finisher is S40. You could go with S30 if you wanted a bit more cut in the finish, but those 3 are a good combo. And then the Rupes ones, which I'm just getting to grips with. So they've got the blue coarse, yellow medium, white finishing. You'll have no problems with these, although you should follow the Rupes instructions. This stuff is probably the highest cutting compound I think I've used. It's very coarse. It cuts like crazy. And you want to work pretty wet with it. And you don't want to let it dry on the panel. And you don't want to overwork it. But once you start getting to grips with this, you use this sledgehammer to get the hard work done. And then you do all the nice stuff over here where it's all nice and smooth with this. So I'm not going to need to buy any abrasives for a long time. When I run out of my Koch, I'll just work my way through the other ones. Shoal is probably the oiliest of all 3 of these. That can cause some problems when you've got to degrease a little bit. They are quite greasy and oily compounds, but very low dusting and nice as well. So, and the Koch is probably somewhere in between the 2, where I think they're sitting just about right. Really love these. Shop around for prices. If you want cheap abrasives, you could look at the Ferrecla SFC 101 and SFF 101, stuff like that, if you're really on cost. Now, pads, you can go 2 ways, really. I've bought the full range of flex pads, and I do a lot of work with just these purple light cutting or medium cutting pads, but they also finish down really well for what is a pad that you can cut with. So these are great. Those greens are very tough, and you'll use that when you're trying to dig out sandy marks or just work the paint really hard with pressure and high cut compounds. And you want a stiffer pad that you can work harder. 99% of the time you can use either the purple pad and the orange pad, those 2 in combo. That's the ultra soft finishing pad. The disadvantage of the flex pads, they come in all different size ranges, which is fantastic, is they're a little bit expensive. If you want to go cheaper than the Rupes foam, you can pick up a lot cheaper. They do like packs of 10 of these, where you pay like less than £6 a pad. So they're about half the price. But I really like the Rupes wool pads. Like, this cutting pad is phenomenal. It's so good. The yellow is great at cutting and finishing for a wool pad. But when you want that maximum cut, these I reach for a lot. They work well on single stage as well. The whites, the yellow finishes down really well. So you only probably need to use the whites for muck spreading, where you're not using abrasives, or where you've got really tricky paint, you want the maximum softness. So check out Flex or Rupes. What other options are there out in the market? Well, the Zvisa pads are pretty good and pretty well priced. And they do the full size range complements. I can't think of much else that do the full size range complements that I need for all the different toolings. So those are my two main options. Now, these are all speciality abrasives. So, where to start with this? All in one. So a product that will cut and finish and leave protection. There's only 3 of those here. Oh no, 4 of those here. And that is Koch P6, HD Speed, Auto Finesse Triple, and Rupes Uno Protecto, or Protect. This won the test with the most points. This was my favourite. This is a good all-rounder that I want to use up. And this I love the buff on. So these are the 3 that I keep. I love AOIs. Yeah, that's got a real nice wow factor to it, that 3D one. The protection on all of these 4 products for AOIs is nothing special. It really isn't. That's the disadvantage with AOIs. That's what I want to bring you onto this new Rupes product that I talked about. This isn't a true all-in-one because it can't cut and finish. They describe it as a maintenance polish, okay? It's very low cut, and you just use it to gloss up your paint, which I love. The unique thing about this is the protection that it puts down actually lasts. It's got nano protection in it. It's slick. It feels like when you've used an SiO2 spray, and it stays on the car. It's the first time I've seen that. I'm going to be using this for maintenance polishes rather than these AOIs, because it's more suitable, because I'm not going to be cutting as much. So this is a great product, and I'd love them to update the Uno Protect and put the advanced nano protection in there, because the protection element in this is much better than the protection element in that, I think. So there's some really good products. I still love Triple. You should only need one, but it's just talking about, so I can't whittle that down to one. I like those. I still like Black Hole Glaze, especially on my E36. Silky to buff, but it leaves a primer behind, then you have to wax over the top, whereas these, whatever they leave is your protection. So there's a bit more work involved with Black Holes, Poor Boys World. Now, next, Geon Primer. If you're doing a lot of coating, you might want to check this product out. It's expensive, but it's good. Very low cut, but leaves a layer of ceramic primer that you can then coat on top of. Yeah, the jury's out on these ceramic primers for a lot of people, but I just like the way this works, so I'm kind of glad I've got that. But you could skip that if you're not into it so much. That would be the ultimate one for a guy at home, just doing a little soft polish with a soft pad on your DA and that, buff down after 15 minutes and you're done. No messing around, no degreasing, no putting another sealant on top. And I use white diamond metal polish with long-lasting sealant in it, just for my bright work, to get my bright work bright. So that is all of the polishing, guys. If you want to move up from these cheap introductory polishers, then you've got all of the cool stuff. My main axe of choice, as I've said many times, is the XCE force rotation cordless, paired up with the PXE nano kind of tool that you can put the 1-inch adapter on. Very clever little tool that is. So those 2 tools I like. I love this rotary. But if you're a free spinning guy, you like the free spinning ones, that not force rotation, then I think the top of the range is probably still the Rupes LHR 15 Mark 3. Really beefy, long throw DA that you can really crank up and really get into the paint. The DeVault is a good cordless one. And this new HLR 75 for a cordless tool is quite powerful as well, and you can really go at it. That's like next generation Yeah, it's off. That's next generation mini tool, really good. So there, you can go up the chain. Now we're on to the wonderful world of last stage protection. You're going to need a quick detailer. So I use the Built Hamber Quick D. I buy 500 ml and then I mix 4.5 litres of filtered water with it, and I have 5 litres of quick detailer spray at that ratio. If you want to use this as a drying aid, you can knock it down again, so you'd have 10 litres at 1 to 20, and it's just enough when you're plastering the car in it before you towel dry. If you do plaster the car in some detailers before you towel dry, you can end up making a mess. So you definitely want them like weak. So this stuff works. It's got like the waterless wash technology on it to help scratching your car. It doesn't put any sort of durable protection down. It doesn't put massive beading, but it just adds a bit of gloss, a little bit of protection, and it's very, very cheap. If you want the bling, then I think the Gion Quick Detailer has the bling and the gloss as well, where you're just going to spend a little bit more time applying it rather than just hurling it all on, or their ceramic Quick Detailer with ceramic in it. Okay, so there's some good little options there for you, but that's definitely the bargain one. In terms of overall kind of dressing, you can use Tax System Seal or CarPro Pearl, very similar things. You mix them down with water, so a litre of it's going to last you for ages. You can use it as a tyre dressing. You can lower it right down, use it on your dashboards or exterior plastics and all that sort of stuff, and it just lasts forever. And if you get it right, it's good. Some people say it's a bit streaky or something. I don't have any problems with it, or I wouldn't use it. But you can use whatever you like. We've never done a best of on these, or we've done tyre dressings, but not like plastic dressings and stuff. So we will do eventually. Ceramic coatings, I really like the Gion Mose. It's on its own. You can get it in the synchro kit with the skin if you want to put stuff on, or you can just put this on by itself. And it's pretty easy to use, very durable, very hydrophobic. You can stick it on trim if you want to. That's a good coating. And the Gion rim on the wheels, again, it's just a coating, but it's hydrophobic, seems to last out okay. And those are the ones that I've got. There's loads of good coatings there, you tell me. There's so many on the market now, it's like paste waxes. Gion Can Coat, lightweight ceramic coating. This is a good product, and this is really good value if you can use it all before it expires. It's a good product to have as a professional because you'll use it all and you can top up coatings with it, or you can apply perhaps a lightweight coating as a service. You can use it on your alloys as well if you want. It's not hard. It doesn't set as hard as a full-blown ceramic coating. Glass sealants. We haven't done a glass sealant comparison video, but the Glaco Ultra is probably the best one I've used so far. You can prepare it with the Glaco compound. That's all you need, those two products, and it's good. The best sealant I think I've used so far is this Jescar Ultralock Plus Plus. You might find it hard to get in the UK. This is a lovely slick polymer ceramic sealant, so it's not true ceramic. It buffs really nicely, it cures to a dry haze, and it lasts on the car. It really does make a great baseline sealant. You can stick it on a machine as well and just whiz over your car with it and get it on. That's a fantastic product, that is. If you want to go more down the waxy route, like a tin of wax, it's a sealant, John. Well, whatever, you know what I mean. Then I don't think you can beat the old Fuso coat 12 months. It has a little bit more durability than the new Fuso coat that's a little bit more ingredient friendly and less sort of smelly. But this old stuff really does last out well. It's ridiculously hydrophobic. It's good as well. If you want to go down to spray on something on your car, then I don't think you can beat this Ice Seal and Shine, which costs around $7, I'm told. This one, though, is the American one. The English ones are a little bit behind it, but not much. But if you can get this Ice Seal and Shine from America, just spray it on your car, prep your car properly to get the most out of it, panel by panel, spray, spread, buff, and it is ridiculously durable for a consumer grade product. Really good. Tyre Shine, I tend to use this Gion Express all the time because it's water sort of missable. So if your tyre's still wet, you can use it. I just brush it on. But the Autoglym one down here won my tyre shootout. I just find this a little bit slimy. Even the outside of the bottle was slimy. But when you get it on the car, I think it's really good. find myself using this one a bit more now. In terms of spray and rinse, I think Geon Wet Coat is probably the best or the most advanced spray and rinse sealant on the market. Might not be the most durable, might not be the most hydrophobic, isn't the cheapest, but I think it has self-cleaning. So it's ideally suited to putting on to a base product like a ceramic that has self-cleaning, and it's really the paint feels really good after like an hour later, like this hardens off or something. I think it's a really good product. This one though, the cheap turtle wax, that I'm not sure if you can even buy it anymore. I hope you can still get it somewhere. This cost me £3.50, and it's really beady, and it's instantly beady, and it's really strong, and it's really cheap. I think it came second to the wet coat. That's quite good stuff. Detail sprays that give you lots of bead. The old Sonax Brilliant Shine Detailer, still difficult to beat if you like those winter beads when it's a wet season. Like, you just spray this on, buff it out. It's a bit gloopy, a bit thick, but get it on there and you'll be impressed with the beadage. We've talked about these too. This stuff is Koch Chemie FSE. It's a descaler detail spray. Whenever you bring your car in the summer and it's got any sort of muck or soap stains on any of it, just use this as your detail spray, and it will just clear the panels down and give you a really nice show car finish. And sometimes detail sprays, even the Built Hamber one, even the Geon ones, they don't have that cleaning ability. They're putting sort of like a film of something down, but that seems to really clear off anything that you don't want to see on the paint, you know, so that you've just got clean panels. You get the idea. Air fresheners, you can pick these up in your petrol stations now for like £4. These designer fragrances, Azul I think is the one to go for. I quite like the cherry one. You just put one little pop into the footwell, and they're really strong and really potent, and they smell nice. That's a lot of talking. I've gone through and done the garage tour, so you've seen all the other things I've got in there, like microfiber towels and various applicators and stuff like that. You've seen my shelves. You can never have enough brushes, like the EZ wheel brushes and some good detailing buckets and some IK foamers. Those drill bit brushes are important. Alibaba brush is fantastic. Hogshair brushes, Tampico brushes, vacuum cleaners. I've also got the little vacs, and I've got a really good flex there, but I very rarely use this because I keep my cars relatively clean enough that I can just use this little mini one, which seems to work really well, and I don't have to plug it in. It's cordless, so I just like bring the car in, grab that, and just clear out the driver's footwell. I find myself doing that quite a lot. That's it. I'm sure I've missed loads of products there. Citruses we'll explore on the channel at some point, guys. Everything, I reiterate, will be linked in the description. This is a long video. Let me know if you think there's some products that are better and cheaper, you know, and we may go again and test them and get them onto the channel. I want to explore that 3D range of abrasives because it did really well in my AOY, and that makes me curious about their cutting compounds and stuff. So we'll probably explore those at some point. Other than that, take care. See you soon. Enjoy the rest of the summer. Carpe diem. Adios. Quick zoom pan, pump zoom, special effects, cut.
Holding on to what I knew, but the moment's gone. Where was I when